guys, Roxxy Sims here, and welcome to my speed build. I normally put out speed builds on Saturday, but I was too excited about the new pack to wait until tomorrow, so here I am. Today, I am building the house of Jacob Black from Twilight. Yes, I am a Twilight fan, and I am not ashamed to admit it. The movies and the books are just a good time, and I have read the books, oh gosh, 3-4 times each, and then I've watched the movies I don't even know how many times. I have not kept track. I know it's at least 10 times a piece. To be honest, that guess is probably a little low. Point is, I'm a fan. I've been watching them and reading the books for years, and I'm finally building Jacob's house because we have a werewolf pack. I figured it's the perfect time to start building Twilight stuff. So I'm actually starting a mini series. You might have saw the little logo on the thumbnail. It says Building Twilight. So I am for sure going to build Jacob's house, Bella's house, and the Cullen residence. I'm probably going to space them out a little bit though, so don't expect one like next week. I'm going to wait because I build better whenever I'm very inspired. And since I already spent all this time building this Twilight house, it'll probably be a little bit. But tell me which one you want me to build next, the Cullen residence or Bella's house. I'm curious. I'm also waiting because, of course, those people are not werewolves, and we just got a werewolf pack. So more werewolf-related builds are coming next. Speaking of the werewolf pack, you might have noticed that I'm not actually building in Moonwood Mill. That is because Jacob's house is very iconic for being very red, and the lighting in that world, it looked kind of gray, and it just wasn't giving me the really red look that I was going for. So I decided to build here in Granite Falls, but I am building it for the 40 by 30 lot that's next to the 20 by 15 lot in the more woodsy area of Moonwood Mill. So that is where this is going. I just, the pictures, I wanted them to be more red. I wanted Jacob's house to be the most like the movie house as I possibly could. I actually have seen the quote-unquote real-life Jacob house. So, of course, Jacob is a fictional character, and he has no real-life house. But there is a house in La Push, Washington, where, the character Jacob is from, and they basically just call it the Jacob house because it's pretty much the closest to being like the house that's in the movie. So I have actually seen that before. I visited the Pacific Northwest a few years ago, and we didn't visit for Twilight stuff, but since I am a fan and I was already there, I thought, well, I might as well see a couple of the Twilight things. So I didn't visit it, but I drove by it and got to see it. And I actually was staying in La Push. I was staying on a resort on the Quileute Reservation. And I tell you what, it was the most beautiful place I have ever seen. I visited the first beach and second beach on the Quileute Reservation, which I'm pretty sure are supposed to be the beaches that Jacob visits and goes to. And I think when they're saying in the cafeteria in the movie, they're like La Push, and we're going to the beach in La Push. I think that's the beaches that they were actually talking about. And those beaches are stunning. I actually got to have a fire, a bonfire on that beach. It was just spectacular. They have this washed up tree on First Beach, I believe, and it is ginormous. You could fit inside. So I walked inside the middle of the tree, and it's just the coolest place. If you're in the area, go visit. You have to hike to get to Second Beach, but the hike is wonderful and it's totally worth it. There's these massive, what do you call them, sea stacks there. It's beautiful. I want to go back so bad. They have Bella's trucks at the community center, I think it is, in Forks. And I say trucks because they have one that's closer to being like the movie one, and then they have one that's closer to being like the book one. And, I took pictures in front of the Forks sign that you see in the movie. Yeah, I was being a little Twilight tourist. I mean, I was already in the La Push and Forks area, so it would just be stupid of me to not go see that stuff, right? We have moved on to the inside of the build, and there's just a couple things that I want to point out. I got really excited because I put a fish on the counter in the kitchen, and there's like a little piece of paper next to it, and it looks kind of like a handwritten recipe. So I thought they could be in the middle of cooking, Harry's famous fish fry. So yeah, if you're a fan of the movies, you might have remembered that from the first Twilight movie. And then I also want to point out that I tried my very best to make everything exactly perfect, but The Sims has some limitations. So in real life, you don't have to build on a grid, and in The Sims, you do. So I wish this room was just like half a tile skinnier and maybe half a tile not as long. And it's just frustrating that I can't do it exactly right, And we don't have exactly the right. Some of the furniture pieces aren't exactly right. We just don't have it. Like, we just don't have the kitchen table, the dining room table that they do. And then also this wood wall. I don't really know where it starts and where it ends. But there's certain angles in the movie where you see behind, I think, Charlie one time, and then behind Bella one time. You can see there's wood wall in the living room, but you never see where it starts or ends. And then in the movie, I just saw a little glimpse of a wood stove, so I know they have one. I tried like my absolute hardest to, I looked through every single frame in the movies, all movies, where there's any little hint of Jacob's house, and I tried to piece it together. But the fact is they just don't show every part of his house. They only show a tiny little section of Jacob's bedroom. I pieced together that I think it's actually supposed to be kind of like a mudroom, and then they've turned it into a bedroom with the tile and then the outside door. So I think I got that right. And then they only show his bed pretty much, and then that's it. And then I just had to guess on the rest. They don't show where a bathroom is. They don't show Billy's bedroom at all. So those are things that I just had to guess at, and I think they feel right. I just tried to decorate those areas in the same kind of way that the parts that you do see are decorated. During the screenshots, though, I do put the screenshots of the actual movie next to the pictures that I take of the build. That way you can kind of see why I chose certain things, why I did certain things, because I assume that you don't remember every single angle of Jacob's house that you barely see in the movie. So I thought the screenshots will help you actually compare the build to the movie. Something that I wish we really had for this build was some sort of Native American kind of decoration, some decor of some kind, because of course I just kind of had to, put things that are the closest that I could come up with, because we just don't have it. You know how they've done those free updates for other cultures? I think one for Native American culture would be really great as well. Well, guys, we are just about finished with this build. I just want to thank you so much for watching. It really means the world to me. As always, this build will be uploaded to the gallery, so you can download it from there. Or if you need the tray files, you can get those from my Patreon page, which I will have linked down below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will talk to you all again next Saturday. Bye, everybody!